Welcome to Comcast Salute's Black History Month. I'm your host, Sandra Varner, and my guest today is Teresa Cox of the Ohlone College, who is a trustee there. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
Tell us, how do you celebrate Black History Month?
Well, one of the things I do in celebrating Black History Month is I like to go to a lot of the events that we have in the Bay Area. We're very rich in our culture, and we have quite a few celebrations. It could be from the United Negro College Fund to the Afro-American Historical and Cultural Society events. Our church has a lot of events, so there's a wide variety, but the part is bringing everybody together in unity. And I also celebrate with friends that look like the United Nations, that we come together and we celebrate the different diversities that occur throughout the rest of the year. So we appreciate and embrace each other's cultural differences that way.
When you talk about diversity and people coming together, tell us about your role there at the college and the function that you serve as trustee.
Well, back on November 2008, I was elected as the first African American to the Ohlone College Board in almost 50 years. And it took a group of people from our community that were diverse from economic, social, racial, the whole diversity of our community came together, and they spoke as the qualified candidate, because I had an engineering background degree, first in the nation in nuclear engineering, as well as an MBA. But I also worked in the community in terms of I chaired the Economic Development Commission. So I understood business and understand education. My family has had a long history in education as well. My family had started some of the historically black colleges. My great-grandparents, they founded Tuskegee University.
Goodness.
Where in terms of they raised the funds to have for Booker T. Washington, but they also founded over 200 schools down in the South. That's been documented in a book that was written by a Yale University professor. So education has always been a first thing. They say if you succeed, you get your education, you work hard, you will be able to have the chances of succeeding in life.
Education is fundamental when it comes to success. What advice do you give young people about pursuing education as part of their career track?
Well, I think one of the important things about education is that you got to stay in school. That's the first thing. If you stay in school, learn all the math, the reading, the science, all of those things are key, because as you go to the higher grades, it's building a foundation of their learning. But when you get to college and beyond to graduate school, it allows you to think differently and be able to have a mind that is open, that has gone through the different reasoning, the different thinking, problem solving, but also you got to learn to communicate too. And I think that's important, that we all need to work together, communicate well, so that we can then achieve the goals that we need to do in our community or at work, the different facets of our life.
When you talk about achieving goals, have you reached all of your goals, and are there things that you still like to do?
Well, you know, one of the things is that I'm enjoying my role as the Ohlone College Board, serving the community on the educational opportunities, but also working as a Commissioner for Economic Development for the City of Fremont, for bringing more businesses here to Fremont area. At this point, I had set goals originally for myself as I grew up, and I was going to be a doctor. I ended up, because I had the love of math and science, I went and got my first internship at General Motors, and I found in love with working for business. So I went on and got my MBA instead of going to get my MD. But I think one of the other things is that I'm setting up is that with the goal setting is that you got to be flexible, because some things will happen that you may not even thought about. Like I worked at the White House during the Clinton administration. That became an opportunity that I was at the right place at the right time with the right skill level. So I'm open and got to be flexible.
Well, being flexible, being goal-oriented are all good pieces of advice for young people, for all people. We want to thank you for joining us today, and we'd like to salute you in your continued success along your path.
Thank you so much.